Do big worms really matter when fishing the warmer weather deal? I don't know. Ready, running guns? Time for blast off. Let's go. Hey guys, Todd here with you. Welcome back to Bassin 101. Truck talking worms again. Big old honking worms, you know, like the 9s, 10s, 12s. Big old honking things. You know, the kinds that break your rod tip when you try to cast them suckers. With the big old 5/0 hooks on them things. Are they necessary? I know a lot of guys that throw the big worms. Now I'm talking, you know, this is summertime fishing. This is when the water's freaking 90 degrees, you know, and everything. I know guys that throw big worms like that. But here's the thing. If everybody else is throwing that big worm, why not throw a smaller one? I'm just saying that because a lot of guys, they throw the big worms. And I've got some big, I think a few packs of the Zoom Old Monsters. I like the Mag 2 as well. Mag 2 is that's really about an 8-inch worm. It says 9 on the packet. It's an 8-inch worm. But I do have some of the Twister Phenoms in like the 11-inch type deal. That's a big freaking worm. Really got some bulk, as Larry Nixon would say. But when everybody's throwing them, should you be throwing them? See, that's the kind of viewpoint I'm thinking about here. Is my number one worm, hands down, and probably because I fished it the longest, that I've caught most of my bass on a plastic worm has been a Mr. Twister Phenom, a little 6-inch Phenom. I've been fishing that worm probably since I was 9, 10 years old. Might even been before that. Growing up on the lake the way I did. And I still remember getting the kits. There was even kits around back then, you know, around 78, 79, 80, somewhere around there. Back in the old days. We had kits like that too. And or the individual packets, and I remember them smelling like bananas. I don't know. I just remember them smelling like bananas. But why would you throw a big honking worm when everybody else is throwing it? I mean, if everybody jumped off a bridge, would you do it too? The old adage. I still, in the heat of the summer, I still throw a 6-inch worm, a 6-inch Phenom, and I'll even Nico and drop shot with a Magic Baits, a Missile Baits Magic Worm. Got my words crossed there. It's a 6-inch, but the Phenom, hands down, it's always been a good worm for me. It's been consistent. The thing's been around for over 50 years. Come on, man, unchanged too. Completely unchanged. It still runs the same worm. But don't have to use a Phenom. I mean, shoot, what about a Zoom U-tail? A 6-inch U-tail? What about a 7.5-inch culprit? I mean, do you have to throw that big worm? I mean, granted, you're going to catch better fish on that bigger worm, but you're going to catch more fish with the chance of getting that bigger fish on a smaller worm. What about a slider? A 4-inch slider worm? I've caught those in the summertime too. But I will admit, I do better on a Phenom when it comes to really, really hot water. You know, the reservoir I'm fishing right now, it's done hit 85. And I think the only reason it's staying around that with all the heat that we've had is probably because all the feeder creeks that run into it. Coming off them mountains. That's a good possibility. Or the fact that it's really good water. That's why it stays things like that. I don't know. But you don't have to throw a big worm just because somebody else is throwing a big worm. I mean, I've been in boats with guys that will throw that big worm and go all day and never get a bite, and I've already got my limit on a phenom. You know, but especially back in the tournament days, that one guy I used to be partnered with, a buddy of mine. I mean, he threw the big worms. Big old, it was a state federation tournament. He's out there throwing a big old honking worm, and I'm sitting there thinking, Timmy, we need to get our limit first, dude, and then you can start throwing that worm if you want to. But no. He had that glass bead and that lead up there, and he doodle socked that dude. And I'm up there catching my limit. But again, like I said, you can, with a smaller worm, you'll catch more fish. With the chance of getting that big fish in there, you get that really big worm, now you're pretty much just going to be fishing for the bigger fish. I would do that after I've had my limit. But if you're out fishing for fun, you don't have to use them big old honking things. I don't know, that's just my 2 cents on that. You know, I know the weather's cooled down a little bit by the time this comes out and everything, but I just want to just, you know, it's around the corner. Summertime's around the corner again, man, and everybody be throwing on YouTube. They'll be throwing them big worms and telling you can only throw these big worms, man. No, you can't, man. You don't have to, and I'm not downing it. I mean, if you throw big worms and you catch fish, man, keep on going. Get it. I'm just saying that not everybody has to do that. Stick with what you're confident with. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. So until next time, remember, new techniques are trendy, but bass never change. May the Father bless you and keep in Yeshua's name, and as always, fish on.